it's Medium Jenny Lee, and I'm here with the Woo Woo book review number 4. Today I have a very strange one for you. My husband found this one for me while he was on a trip. He found it in a little shop somewhere in Kentucky, and it's a reprint of a book from the 1800s. It's called Madame la Marchand's Fortune Teller and Dreamer's Dictionary. It's a fairly small book. Has about 134 pages. There's a lot of stuff in this book. As you can see, there's a very ugly witch on the cover with a kind of distraught, tired looking woman, and she's getting her dice read there, and we have a scary cat, some incense, and a bird, apparently, because, you know, witches. So this is printed by the Applewood Books from Bedford, Massachusetts, who specializes in publishing reprints of old stuff. So it looks, the type and everything is exactly how it would have looked in 1863, which is when this was originally published. And there is some really strange stuff in here. So the first section is about is a ladies' love oracle, and it's about how to read women's fortunes based on dice. And there's all these questions that the women can ask, and then they roll the dice, and you read the based on the question, you answer based on what they roll. And some of these things are absolutely hilarious, very dated. You know, only all women then want to know if they're going to get married and how many children they're going to have and if their children are going to live. Things have changed a lot since 1863. The next part of the book, so that part was kind of like entertaining, but very irrelevant for these times, and that's like the first 80 pages. Then it's how to tell fortunes with cards, which was interesting, also a bit outdated. But I think that you could probably, I'm sure there's updated versions of this if you really wanted to get into reading people's fortunes with cards. But this is one of the places it came from. Then there's the Dreamer's Dictionary, which is also very interesting, dated, and also to its place, I think. Like, this originally was published in America, but it's you know, the lady's name is French, so there's a lot of things in here that we aren't familiar with anymore, that don't, you know, dreaming about a horse and a carriage. I don't think that people are going to be dreaming about horses and carriages too often anymore, stuff like that. So that part was kind of entertaining, but also not necessarily helpful, I don't think. One of the parts that I found really interesting is the palmistry. I never, like, I've been interested in palmistry, but I've never really researched it or learned about it too much. I mean, I knew the basics, but after reading this, that was pretty interesting. I enjoyed the palmistry section. And then there's a section on how to tell a person's character based on their, like, numerology of their name. Fortune telling with tea and coffee ground, tea leaves and coffee grounds. How to read your fortune by the white of an egg. How to tell fortunes by the moles on a person's body. Very interesting. Discovering the truth from falsehood. Basically, that was another numerology one on whether it was odd or even based on the person's name. List of unlucky days. If you're born on, you're basically screwed. List of fortunate days, lucky days. So, you know, if you're born on those, That was good. And then it was a list of fortunate hours based on the day you were born and the hour you were born. How to tell, this is one of my favorite parts. How to tell with a pack of cards which of three ladies has the best husband. I'll give you a hint. They all have good husbands. Because no matter what you add this weird triangle thing up to, they're always going to be even. I don't know about that. Then there's some charms and ceremonies. Basically on how to get a man to marry you. Usually what most of them are. And then there's a mathematical fortune of how to tell any person's age. Okay, or you just ask them. I don't know. So, for historical purposes on learning kind of where fortune telling was in the 1863, it's very interesting. I feel like this book is, and in its time, would have been like the commercialized way to read somebody's fortune, or just for fun, that kind of thing. I'm sure there are plenty of people that took it very seriously. But a lot of it's not really useful to us anymore in the year 2022. Interesting to know kind of some of the history of fortune telling and to read about some of these things that you hear about, you've heard about, tea leaves and whites of eggs and things. Kind of see where that was at that time period. But I would never use any of this stuff now, except for maybe the palmistry. I think if anything in this book was helpful to me, where I think I would use it now, is the basics of the palmistry, and everything else was purely historical entertainment. So overall, should you pick this one up? I don't know. If you're into the history of fortune telling and the mystical arts, maybe pick it up. Or maybe not. Anyway, that's my review of Madame La Marchand's Fortune Teller and Dreamer's Dictionary. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, come back and watch some more woo-woo book reviews. See you next time. Bye-bye.